Hello and annyeonghaseyo. Welcome to Night Times Out, and this is your favorite host, Tima and Jessica, here with you once again with another spicy topic in our mind. So, this time, this is something that we could relate to and we have been relating to, especially in our uni days, and we have witnessed us doing that more than once, a lot of
Ooh.
times, and have called each other out as well. So, the topic is none other than how to fake being an extrovert as an introvert. We have been identifying ourselves as an introvert ever since we have known each other,
Yes.
and even before that. And and the way we bonded was also because, oh, you're an introvert. Oh, you hate group works? Me too. Yeah. So that's literally how we started our conversation. So it's funny. Um, during the last 5 or 4 years in our university, how we saw each other going and coming out of our shell and trying to adapt and fit in inside this extrovert world that people love a lot. So we have had our experiences and mishaps as well. So just before we start that, let's start with the very basic here. So Jessica, you have been telling me that you are an introvert since a very, very, very long
Mm-hmm.
time. So, what are some of the reasons you feel like you are an introvert, or what are some of the characteristics that you relate to the most?
Well, I like to say, you know, I wouldn't say a very, very long time. Like, it's only one very long time. I haven't lived that long yet.
All right.
But yes, yes,
Yeah.
I am an introvert because I like the major thing is I like my alone time. I think we both have
Mhm.
that quality. Like once we are
Mhm.
surrounded by people or talking, socializing a lot, like a long period of time, we want to just get away and get out in our own
Right.
space and just be alone.
Like we're just in the corner there,
Yeah.
like, okay, I gotta energize.
Yes.
Get away
Oh
from me!
yes, yes. That's so true. And I usually feel quite drained, even like with just basically socializing people, being around people. It's just very draining for
Mhm.
me. And another thing is, I like a close knit of people. I have a lot of friends, I guess, but they're not usually the people I go to. Usually, I have like a few just close
Mm.
knit friends, like dear Tima here.
It's like you will, yeah, yeah, you will keep the secret until your grave, kind of
Yes,
friend.
yeah, I agree.
Right,
Yes,
right.
I have those few people that I just hang out with and I'm cool with. And for this particular episode, we did like a little bit of research, and I found out this daydreaming and like using your imagination to solve things is actually a quality of introvert as well, which I do a
Mhm.
lot. Yeah.
Oh.
So the
Mm.
interesting thing is, right, I found that extroverts, they're more impulsive, I guess. They kind of just do,
Mm.
like, they don't really think much. They just like do it as it comes out. If it feels right to them, they just do it. But like for introverts, they kind of like internally analyze it first and make the decision. Like for me
Mm.
personally, if I were to go to a social situation, I have to think out what's gonna
Mhm.
happen, which what type of
Uh,
conversation, what type of people.
yeah.
So
The go-to question
mm?
will be, uh, who is going there?
Oh yeah,
Who is gonna be
yes,
there?
who's there,
Yeah.
who, like I have to make sure there are people that I know so I can interact with them and like hang out with them, because
Mhm.
I think for a lot of introverted people, it's very intimidating to go into a public space or to a space that we don't know much people, and we have to get out get out of our shell and like interact and make connections. It's very daunting. It's also a lot of brain power, I would say. Like you have to take a lot of
Yeah.
effort. Yeah. So
Mm. Yeah, I get
Yeah,
that.
that's one of the things. Another thing is just like a fun test, which I think a lot of people know, is the Myers-Briggs test. Like, yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I always get like introverted scale is like, more than 70 usually. So that's one of the ways that I know of and I relate to. What about you?
For me, I think it's more of a similar things that you mentioned already. And one of the thing is, I feel drained out. I like actually I
Mm.
didn't notice this as much, but once I made this very super extroverted friend, and we are working together in our room inside our student club, and we're like, okay, let's take a break. Let's go get some water. And if I want to do that, I take the nearest route without people. Yeah, I take the nearest route without people because I don't want
Oh.
to see anyone. I want to be in my own space. I don't really want to talk with
Mm.
anyone. But you know what he does? This super extroverted friend,
Mm.
he takes the longest route with the most people in there. And even when he's filling his water bottle, he just looks around to search for anyone who, he knows. So he's just like trying to see if any of his mutual friends are walking past
Wow.
by. Then I'm like, dude. That is different level of extroversion itself. So I think these are the simple things I relate. And also another thing is, usually when I'm talking with people, uh, usually they say that I have a very bubbly
Mm.
energy. So they'll be like, "Oh my God, you're so joyful. You're always smiling and all and all." And then as soon as the battery goes out, I'm just in the corner, like sitting there, and I have this resting face that makes it look like I'm angry all the time. And then people are gonna be like, "Oh, are you okay? Why
Mm.
why are you like this? What happened to you?" And I'm just like, I just need my space. Nothing happened. I'm just tired. So these are the simple ways. And
Yeah.
usually it doesn't mean that I hate my friends or I hate the people that I'm hanging out with. It just means that I suddenly feel so drained out. There's just too many stimulations and I just wanna hide under my blanket, get some spicy noodles, and just chill out. Yeah, so I think these are one of the general reasons I find myself to be very introverted. Even though I like my friends, I like talking with them, I like joking with them, but no, not for long. Hmm.
Mm. Yeah, I agree. Like we have to recharge, and yeah, we need our space to just get ourselves, collect ourselves. Cause like again with the research, I kind of found out like
Hmm.
we kind of chemically in our brain
Hmm. Hmm.
process dopamine differently from extroverts. So
Hmm.
we're more sensitive, you know. Basically, to explain, dopamine is the hormone that makes you excited, makes you happy. But for
Like giddy
us,
giddy goo, giddy
yes,
giddy
yeah,
goo.
yeah. And but for us, like introverts,
Hmm.
we are too sensitive to it because for us it's too strong. So
Hmm.
so it takes a lot of energy for us to process
Hmm.
that compared to extroverts which thrive on that hormone. So
Energy.
yeah, that
Oh my
energy.
God.
Yeah.
Extroverts scare me at some point. They really
They
scare me. The
do.
level of energy they bring. I really remember this one time. Yes, we were having this new bunch of subcommittee coming in, and my introvert energy was already fully utilized. I didn't have anything, but I just have to go because it's the first meeting and we have to do ice breaking and such. And we went to the first meeting, and I see a younger junior just jumping around. He was so excited, full of energy, and just jumping around. And I was like, oh my God. I really got scared. It's not the scared that, oh my God, this person is gonna, hurt me kind of scared. It's just, oh my God, so much energy.
Yeah. Yeah, they're
Mm.
intimidating.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
in a way they are.
yeah. Because I get what you mean. Like, the moment I see those type of people, I'm like, oh, I have to hype myself up, especially if I know them.
Hmm.
Like, you know, they will come and say hi and be like, oh my god, so nice to see you, and all this like pow pow
Oh my
energy
God.
goes to you. You're like, yeah, yeah, and then you're trying to match it, but it's very
Yeah.
hard. And I get what you mean. Like, you see them from afar, you sense their energy
Right.
from afar. I'm like, whoo, extroverts.
And you know what? Suddenly I realized in all those last, few years that we have known each other,
Yes.
I think our interactions have never been, oh, like that. Our interaction has always been like,
Yeah.
yo, I'm here. I'm here. Notice me, I'm here. Okay, come here. Like that. It's been so calm. Like we've never been like, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
Like that. Like, even after the same break, even after like meeting after many many months, we're just like,
Yeah.
hey, here, here.
Yeah. It's like, hey, hi, morning, what's up?
Yeah.
It's literally the chillest, because we know we're not the type to be, making the loudest noise in the room. I mean, no offense to
Yeah.
extroverts. I think they're wonderful people. They're
Oh
fun.
yes,
Yeah, they're
they
fun.
are. They very warm vibe
Yeah.
there. Yeah, with
But
them.
you have to understand, guys. You guys are a lot to us. Yeah,
Right.
it's a lot to us. We just like quiet, chill vibes, saying hi across, the shoulder, or just saying a chill
Yeah.
yo. That's enough for us. um, I think we face a lot of embarrassing situations because we're,
Mm-hmm.
I guess, introverts, but it's also people think we are shy, which I don't think we are.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. People have this huge misconception that you are shy. So every time like you are in a meeting and talking with people, and they're like, "Oh my God, you speak so well. You must be an extrovert." Like, and now I I'm gonna stand by the introvertedness. I am a pure introvert. Like, yeah, it's so funny when we do
Yeah.
that. It's weird how people don't believe that introverts can be a good communicator because they always have this conception that okay, introverts will just be in the corner, a very shy person who can't even look you in the eyes, but I can look you in the eyes and tell you I am tired. Right. Right.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. If you see extroverts, they don't really like filter out. I want to say
Mm.
they're more like the moment they think about it, they speak it out. They don't really have that um afraidness or like
Oh.
hesitation compared to
Oh.
us.
I mean, it's a
Like,
pro and con, I guess. I mean, I think
yeah.
being being that confident with what you want to speak out without having to think and wait for it, I think
Mm-hmm.
it will help them grab opportunities as well. So I think there is a pro
Yeah,
and
yeah.
con there. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't want to generalize there because, um, yeah, I'm a bad student. I haven't, I didn't take the personality class, and so I wouldn't exactly comment much on there, but just I would comment much more on my experiences here. And I don't know. I mean, extroverts are good. I always like it when they adopt me in, huge spaces. I'm
Yes.
like so happy. Like, yes, I don't have to talk.
Yes. Yes, yes. I think I agree with that. Like, uh, no matter this, I feel like a survival skills for us introverts. If you come in a situation where it's a new environment, find the extrovert and become friends with them,
Oh,
because you can be by the side and they can like the extrovert will kind of take control of the conversation, and you
yeah.
can just like add on, and then you since you're friends with an extrovert, you seem as friendly as them. So it's like a win-win for both. They get a friend, and then you get an extrovert, which will help you talk
Mhm.
for the rest of the conversation. So it's like that's a good skill. Like no matter what, I do have that one or
Extrovert friend, yeah.
two, yeah, extrovert friend.
Eh,
Just help
and also
along.
it's good, like let's say if your social energy is down and you don't want to talk with
Mm-hmm.
anyone, you can just pull them in between and it's like, oh, they will take control of the conversation.
Yeah, yeah, they will take care of this, because a lot of times, right? I feel like one of the things that introverts are being accused of is being rude because we
Um,
don't, we don't express ourselves
oh,
as much as introverts are.
extroverts.
Usually, extroverts,
Mhm.
sorry, extroverts are. So like we see more, we don't like them, or we're
Um,
not interested in the situation. I feel like I have encountered a couple of those situations, but
mhm.
it's not that I don't like them or I'm not interested in the conversation. It's
Mhm.
just that I'm hesitant in what I'm going to talk about. Like I feel like I'm not confident enough to,
Mhm.
as like extroverts are, in just
Mhm.
expressing themselves. And for me, I'm like soft spoken, especially in like
Mhm.
new environments. I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do, who is who. I don't want to say the wrong things. I don't
Mhm.
want to accidentally offend someone, because
Mhm.
that's my fear. But
Mhm.
that's also one of the things I love about extroverts as well. They just express themselves so confidently that you actually trust them more. I feel like people trust them more because they are so socially open, and they can just speak out, and then
Mhm.
that's why they can make friends so quickly as well.
They seem more, how do I put it? More
Approachable.
transparent,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like this person doesn't have anything to hide. They're very open and, yeah, open to things as well. I mean, it can seem in that way to a lot of people. Yeah, but it's just the whole extrovertedness versus introvertedness. It's so funny. Mm, if I think about it, it's like no one wants to. No one trusts me when I tell them that I'm an introvert. Everyone thinks that I'm an extrovert, or they think that I'm a extrovert who pretends to be an introvert. Then I'm just like, what? What? Yeah, you want me to show you here my MBTI, the personality
Myers-Briggs,
test
yeah.
result?
You're right.
Yeah.
But that's true. Like I have that too.
Mhm.
Like especially with my family, I don't really speak much, so they think I'm definitely more introverted. My mom calls me shy, but I'm not shy. Definitely with my friends. If you really know me, I'm really a loud person, and I
Mhm.
make a lot of jokes. I'm very interactive.
So, what are some of the challenges you felt as an introvert? Like the expectation that the society in general had put while you're growing up, or while you're in uni, or no, or right now.
Um, I think one of the challenges is you have one of the things is you have to get out of there and speak out your mind for it to
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
be acknowledged. So yeah, so I think, as introvert, I
Mm-hmm.
struggle that I can't speak out as confidently, and I don't have that social
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I don't have that social skill to make that connection with anyone on
Mm-hmm.
the street or whatever, or just a
Mm-hmm.
stranger, and have like a
Mm-hmm.
friendly conversation. I feel like I know I wouldn't do that. So I that's one of the challenges that I face. That is,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's one of the things. What about you?
I think mine is also kind of similar because also I think one of the challenges that I personally have noticed was my belief in a certain kind of leadership position to be there.
Mm.
So, uh, like ever since young, when you watch people in TV, what kind of leader do you see? Someone who is confident, someone who speaks their mind out, is very
Yeah.
social. So that was kind of my concept as well. So I thought that if I want to be a successful person, if I want to be someone who is
Mm-hmm.
acknowledged, then I need to be loud. I need to get my things in order. I need to be very social
Mm-hmm.
kind of person. But to be honest, I'm
Mm.
not. Yeah, I'm not. I'm not a very social person unless they mean a lot to me. And I think um, I kind of struggled myself to be seen in such leadership
Mm.
position, even in like university projects and such. I always thought that someone who is well spoken or who is very confident
Yeah.
takes the lead. And it's unfortunate that in most of the team structure, they do they do look at how the other person speak and they put their opinion out rather than asking and listening to everyone
Mm.
in the team. So I have gone through both
Mm.
kind of things. So I think that's why I really wanted to work on my communication skill to be confident in voicing out my opinion and such. And as I joined more kind of teams, I noticed that some of my student body leaders were actually introverts as well, and they were very soft spoken, and but I still respected them. Then I realized, oh, maybe you know people in leadership position doesn't have to be always like the bossy, the like get it done kind of people. They can be
Mm-hmm.
introverts as well. And but I think the challenge is that a lot of people still think introvertedness is a weakness. Like a lot of people come into the interview and they'll be like, oh, what is your weakness? And they'll be like, oh, I'm an introvert. And I'm like, no, go away. If you think that introvertedness is a weakness in such already, it just means that you don't have a growth mindset.
Yeah. You don't. I think you don't
Hmm.
have the, I want to say, empathy to understand the whole concept or be acknowledgeable.
And also, yeah, and also it's thinking that your one weakness of not being able to be energetic and not being able to be around the people all the time is limiting you from all the other aspects like communication, management and all that,
Mm.
all and such. So I think it's limiting yourself in a way. That's what I think from my perspective. From others' perspective, it
Mm-hmm.
might be different. So that is from my perspective. I think it's just closing the door on your
Right,
own.
without even trying to
So
open the door.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You said that okay, I'm an introvert. I don't fit in,
Uh,
kind of thing. So usually it's that concept now. So I remember there was one time I even had to tell my own committee members that no, introverts cannot be a weakness. It is just a type of
mm,
personality. So communication can be a weakness. That means that it's not their strength. Them being shy can be a weakness, but telling that your whole personality is a weakness seems a bit like
mm,
what
mm.
to me. Like, yeah. So yeah, I usually don't like those kind of answers. And yeah, like so back to the topic. So I think there is all this misconception already. So when people think that you're an introvert, they'll be like, okay, this person is a type of person who can't
Mm.
lead, who can't manage projects, who can't manage people. So there are still this kind of misconception, especially among the traditional companies and such, and which I find quite uh, what is that
Limiting,
word called?
maybe?
Which limiting and also
Yeah,
discouraging in a
discouraging,
way.
yes.
There's more to people than their extrovertedness and
I
introvertedness.
agree, I agree.
Hmm.
For you, how did you
Mm-hmm.
overcome that challenge in your own way? Did you find ways to fake it out, or tips or ways that you learn from other people that you have used? Because you have
Mm-hmm.
experience being a leader in a club,
Mm-hmm.
yes,
The student. Uh-huh.
and you, I would say you, in most situations you have done a really good job.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm an acknowledged.
uh, but
Uh-huh.
yeah, you have done a good job. So like, you have been in those situations where you have to be quite, you know, outspoken and
Mm-hmm.
be a good communicator. In what ways did you like find that was helpful? Maybe certain
Um,
traits you use for as an introvert. Did you utilize it?
I think for me it was more of okay, I don't remember the exact ways or like I faked to be honest, but I think being introvert sometimes you are a good listener.
Oh
We
yeah.
are a good listener. So I think that's how I got closer to people, like especially the
Mm.
extroverts, because we are a good listener and we like I do ask questions that are related to the clubs and all when I was just a general member. So I
Mm.
think that helped me gain access to the social group. I don't know in a way, yeah, because I remember there was a time I didn't talk with any of my committees. I was so shy, but my president at the time was very considerate. She's a very amazing person, but unfortunately, she's in a different part of the country now.
Mm.
Yeah. So she was very considerate of my situation and also the language barrier. And she used to come and tell me, "Come, I translate everything that they're saying for you." So
Mm.
she used to be very considerate. I think, in a way, I was lucky to have such a person to have my back. And but one of the way was also opening up to the person. So you don't have to like start, go and talk to 10 people because to be honest, I don't think I can even now. I don't think
Mm.
I can go and talk with 10 strangers, but you start by talking with the person closest to you and just opening up. And I think another thing is don't associate yourself with your personality because everything changes, including your personality. And just be open to yourself exploring and evolving as well. So,
Mm.
because if you constantly think that, oh, I'm an introvert, I can't do this, I can't do that, you're literally, like what I said earlier, closing your own door. But think of your don't think of your weakness as a weakness, think of it as areas of improvement. So for me, one of my areas of improvement was I was not outspoken at all. And how I started becoming outspoken was this like slowly sharing the opinion with my team leader first, and then my team leader slowly encouraged me to say it openly in front of the meeting, and slowly
Mm.
gathering from there. So it was little step by step, so you don't have to jump all the way in, just slowly start one by one. And also another thing is, if you are not comfortable with certain thing, you don't have to force it all the time. Like let's say for me, and also for some of my committee members back when I was one of the team leader, they don't prefer group meetings all the time because there are too many things. You can't, you're not, if you're not outspoken, you don't have that, you don't feel comfortable to share things. So we have one-to-one meeting as well. So creating that channel helped me gain trust of a lot of people, I think. And I
Mm-hmm.
hope did not break trust for some people, but there may be, so I don't know. Yeah, so it's just little steps. And another thing, I mean, it sounds weird if I say it out now, but people tend to feel your energy.
Mm.
So if you are the type who is always quiet, and I told earlier as well that I have a very my resting face looks very angry, so people don't approach me, they don't find me approachable. But if I'm always like, when I'm talking with my friends and I'm all like cheerful and all, people find it easier to talk to me. So I understand some of us may have that problem inbuilt in ourselves, like me. But
Mm,
try try to be a more cheerful person and try to be a person who gives very warm, happy feelings. And I'm not saying force it, but if it's something that you are, try to spread it and try to share it with the people around you as well. That's what I'll have to
mm,
say. What about you?
mm. For me, a way that I have, I guess, slithered my way into the friend group is
Mhm.
quite similar to yours. I have a lot of ways that I became part of the group. It's because I am friends with one of them, and
Yeah.
it's quite weird. Like I have a lot of one-to-one conversation with a lot of different people,
Hmm.
but because of that, I somehow is welcomed into like the whole group. Like
Yeah. Uh-huh.
in high school, I was that friend. I was close with a lot of people, but I was also in a lot of friends group because I have a lot of individual friends where I am very close with. We have really
Hmm.
deep talks and we can talk about anything.
Hmm.
Even though outside it seems quite unlikely that I would be friends with this person, but because I am a good listener and I
Hmm.
observed,
Hmm.
I became really close friends with one person, and then that one person bring me along to the rest of the group, and I
Hmm.
ended up being friends with everyone. It's quite a interesting thing because I kind of became like the go-to person when they have problems or they want to talk things out, and I'm chill. I'll just be there listening, but it's also quite nice because they do trust you
Hmm.
instead of I don't want to say my friend's name, but a lot of my friends say they don't want to go to this other friend. Maybe
Hmm.
it's more considered more extrovert
Hmm.
because they're not as a good listener as me,
Hmm.
and it's nothing upon them. It's just we have different personalities and different ways of communicating. But because of that, because of my quality as being an introvert, of being a good listener and being observant, I have created a lot of friends in different type of groups,
Hmm.
which has helped me along in making meaningful social relationships. So yeah, that's how I survived majority of high school, and yeah,
Hmm.
and university. I didn't make a lot of friends, but it's also as you get older, you kind of learn to choose your friends better,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's just a given. Like you eventually, whatever age you are right now, if you're listening, you just prioritize making friends that are good people.
Hmm. True.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. I run very far from people with dramas. Those people who talk bad about other people and who
Mm-hmm.
don't have the good intention. Just run away. It's okay. They won't matter in few years' time.
But
Mhm.
yeah, that's true. But it's also, like if you find those dramatic people who have a lot of drama, usually their issues are not as big as they think they are. They're
Yeah.
just big gesture and making a big deal.
Yeah.
But you realize it's really not an issue. And
Yeah.
I mean, I have a lot of people have the same issue, but they don't air it out. you know.
Hmm. I mean, it's okay. It's okay to feel that way if you're genuinely feeling like that. But just if you have good intention, I think it's okay, and it's I wouldn't consider you a bad person if you have a good intention and you're doing it with good meaning at heart and you're not overstepping boundaries and all. But
Mm-hmm.
if you genuinely have a bad intention and just want to hurt other people, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Get me out of here.
Yeah, yeah, I'm leaving. I told you know how I tell me when I meet those kind of people, I'll be like, yeah, 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 yeah. Let's meet next time. Let's meet next time. Then I never meet them. Literally, I'm just like running
Uh,
away, like, bye bye. It's okay. Get out of my life. Yeah, yeah. Don't let the toxic people in your life. Life it's too short to have toxic people in your life.
yeah, so true. So true.
Mhm. But like I think we have known each other for a long time. Was there ever a time where you saw me and you're like, oh, this girl is faking herself as an extrovert?
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Um, I I know when you're like acting or faking it out because I know who you are and we interact one on one. So
Mhm.
are you asking me how do I feel about it?
Not like, how do you find out?
Oh, how do I find out? I
And
mean,
how do you feel about it as well? Yeah.
okay. How I found out is just like, I mean, I just see your body language, your intonation in your voice, your facial expression. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, that's how I know. Like, I think we are both guilty of this. Like
Yeah.
we mimic people who are like very that are like extroverts. We mimic
Uh-huh.
their like
Uh-huh.
body language and whatnot. So I see that in you too. Like you when you are trying to be an extrovert, you do adopt those behaviors. And I'm like, oh, this girl is trying real hard to be like very friendly and like open,
Yeah.
like just trying to be like approachable
Yay!
as yeah, so approachable. I'm like, wow. I know she's like gritting her teeth, like trying to do this, like making people approach her, being friendly, doing the work, leading people. I'm like, good job. I'm like, she's like doing so much effort. I'm proud of you. That's how I feel. But it's also like I pity you in a way because I know that's not the real you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
yeah, I think it's quite cool that we you can do that.
Yeah.
It's a good skill.
I think one of my motivation was for good causes because we were
Mm,
fundraising for this mental health club. Then I remember
mm.
I saw some of my classmates who I have never spoken to, and until this day I've never spoken to them. And it was in the first year. Then I was like hesitating, because we did not make much sale for to raise fund, and I was worried that we're not gonna make much. Then I'm just like there in the university foyer in that stall. I'm just like worrying, okay, we won't make much money. And I saw my classmates come in. Then I'm like, should I talk with them? Should I not? Should I talk with them? Should I not? Then I just smiled at them and I'm like, hi guys, do you guys want to come and, write some few words and maybe donate some money and buy candies from us? And they were so good. They were so kind and so good. They were just like, yeah, sure, and all and all. But until this day, I don't know their name. I'm sorry. After that, I never smiled at them in class also.
I
I'm sorry, it
yeah.
was for a good cause. Forgive me. Forgive me, my classmates. Yeah, they're good people too. Yeah.
Mm. A lot of people will are actually I feel like are faking to be extroverts.
Really?
Like yeah, like I feel like a lot of people when they get out of there they know the expectations to be outspoken.
Mm.
They
Mm-hmm.
know that 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 pressure, I guess, to
Mm-hmm.
be outspoken and like to upkeep a certain image
Mm-hmm.
and being, you know, relevant or letting their ideas out. They need to be like that. But I feel like secretly, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people are introverts.
Yeah, I think
But
so too.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but they adopt like those social skills of being really outspoken and extroverted to succeed in life. And that's why, when you actually try to get out of your shell and speaking to
Mm-hmm.
people, even though they're our classmates, but we don't speak to them, we don't know their
Never.
names. Yeah. But you can see them also when you are trying out and being outspoken. There will be reciprocating those like
Mm-hmm.
same interactions as
Yeah.
you are projecting out. So I find that quite fascinating, but it's
Mm-hmm.
also like you have to learn that extrovertedness can actually bring you forward, like in a
Mm,
lot of situations.
because it
Yeah.
has been a norm in a way.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
It's like expected now.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
But I think the good thing is once you start trying, I think at this stage of my life, after faking a lot of times, and I feel more confident in myself. Like, I feel confident that, okay, in my strength as an introvert,
Mm-hmm.
and I acknowledge my weaknesses more. And I'm working towards it. I'm still actively working towards it. But now I am confident even when I'm talking with strangers. So I
Mm.
think that part of me has grown. So previously, I think not wanting to talk and not liking the social interaction made that my weakness, my areas of improvement. But acknowledging that, yes, it's okay to have that. Uh, it's okay to not be around people all the time, but certain skills will definitely keep you afloat,
Mm.
especially in this very competitive world. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that this definitely has improved uh, my career options, or like I wouldn't say career options a lot, but self-development in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, even for extrovert, I believe like what Zess said, uh, some of them maybe too uh, honest, or they usually wouldn't think much and they would just be confident in what they're saying. So sometimes they may say the wrong thing. So it may come off as a
Mm.
weakness for certain professionals or certain line of work. So
Mm.
that could be their area of their area of improvement. So maybe if you are very outspoken, but let's say you say things without thinking, so it could be your chance to improve on that by maybe interacting more with more introverts or interacting with other extroverts who have excelled in that skill. So I think
Mm.
at the end of the day, extroversion, introversion, it's there, but you'd have to acknowledge both side of the extremes, and both side would have weaknesses and strength, and we would have to acknowledge both. So in a way,
Mm-hmm.
we need to be learning from each other rather than, oh, you are an extrovert, I don't want to hang out with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Um, in what ways have you gone through that has improved your social confidence, your self confidence to speak out?
I think admitting that failures are a given, because trust me, there has been a lot of and lot of embarrassing moments. Too many. And one of which is I said a bad word even during my presentation in front of a lecturer I was scared of the
Oh yeah.
most. So yeah, I mean there are a lot of embarrassing moments. So you just have to go through that process. There's no easy way out, and if someone says there are easy way out, they're probably ripping you off.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's what I think. Just know that failures are a part of your life, and just keep on embarrassing yourself. And one day you'll feel so confident that nothing will feel embarrassing at all.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're already used to it, you're numb to it.
Yeah, yeah. It's like really, if you want to improve on your social skills, I mean, you can read it from books, you can learn from
Mm,
online, or whatever guru or teacher has taught you. You can use those skills, but it will never replace real life situations where you test out those skills.
yeah.
That's how you learn and improve.
Hmm.
It's also a type
Yeah.
of like exposure therapy as well. If you are,
Yeah.
yeah, if you,
Yeah.
it's really, if you want to improve, like, I don't know, simple things like small talk. It's literally just getting out and speaking out to a stranger constantly. Even though you embarrass yourself, maybe you said something really awkward and you weirded out the other person that you are speaking to. It's fine. You won't meet that person ever again. I hope so. I hope so.
I hope.
I hope so that you won't meet that person again. But now you know not to say that, or not to project that sentence or whatever. So that's one of the skills you can use to become, or try to become, an extrovert if you are a introverted person. Yeah.
And also there's this thing called we we give too much credit to other people. We think that people would think about us a lot, but to be honest, not much. Generally, we comparatively think about us more than what the other think about us in actuality. So they're probably thinking about themselves more than they're thinking about you in a way.
Mm.
So it's okay. Just you may feel like, oh my God, I was so embarrassing, and I embarrassed myself. But to be honest, few years down the line, a lot of them would not be remembering it, and whatever you say, it is a quite big world. Although we're connected, it's still a big world. Like, I rarely meet my juniors from my high school. And how often do you meet your own juniors? From a middle school, from a kindergarten? Like, you meet a one or two in a coincidence, but not much. So, 20 or 30 years down the line, are you really gonna meet a lot of them?
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
yeah, just just try so that your future self can be proud of you.
Ooh, such a nice
Ooh.
statement. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Like people worry about themselves more than they worry about others. Like, honestly, like, if you
Mhm.
ask yourself, also, do you remember that person that asked you a weird question? I mean, you will remember maybe like a week or a month at most.
Mhm. But
But
you
then,
won't remember their face, you won't
yeah,
remember their names, you won't remember it in detail
yeah,
anyway.
because
It's gonna
because it's
yeah.
insignificant.
Yeah.
It doesn't contribute anything besides like a funny story you have, like, with that
Right.
with that weird stranger that you met. So
Mhm.
it's also like a quote that I remembered when you said like 20 years, 30 years down the line, is actually by Cher, I think. It's
Mhm.
like, in 5 years, if it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. Like, whatever situation you are, if it doesn't contribute,
Mm.
that's gonna happen like in 5 years, whether it's gonna improve or whatever. Don't think about it. It's fine. Which
Yeah.
I agree with it. I agree with it.
Yeah, we used to have this counselor slash team coordinator from the management end.
Mm.
She also said the exact same thing. And it actually helped me calm down a lot because at that time I was very insecure and I used to get annoyed by every little thing of teeny tiny details of the project. and she told me this, that if it's some, like the same quote that you said, if it's not something that will matter in 5 years time,
Mm-hmm.
why worry about it?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's insignificant compared to your this long life. I mean, if it's a result of an exam that may potentially change the direction of your career, maybe it's a different thing. But if it's just a minor thing, then why worry much? We're just aging ourselves.
Yeah, it's true. You know how much stress, that would be if you worry about those small situations?
Yeah, I feel like I aged. I have fine lines.
Yeah, right? Those wrinkles.
Yeah, yeah, I got those wrinkles from all the stressing out days. No, not anymore. Yeah, those like bring me good vibes only.
Yes, good vibes only. I agree.
Yeah, like I was telling Jess as well that I kicked up my sister out of the room because it was too much for me. It's just like complaining and complaining, and I think I worked more than I worked 14 hours in that day, like
Mm,
including volunteering and my full-time job and other things as well. And then
mhm.
after 14 hours of continuous work, and someone comes and complains to you, how do you feel? You're like, no, no, I'm sorry. I don't have the energy for this. You go out.
Uh,
Not today, not today. Weekend, you come during the weekend.
uh,
But yeah, it's funny how the whole thing works out in at the end of the day. But I was just wondering, like we have had tried to change ourselves a lot. But if you could have done it differently and had this knowledge that you have now, what would you have changed, or how would you have um, embraced yourself differently?
hmm. I think I would have given the advice on the 5 years thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I would say you are overthinking the situation more than you should.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't, like, I feel like I did that a lot when I was younger. Like, I overthink things. I still do to a
Mm-hmm.
certain point, but now I do learn that you are allowed to feel these feelings, but do not let it overtake your life.
Oh, that's a really good one. Yes, that is
Yes.
correct.
Yeah.
People try to negate that feeling. They're like, okay, I can't be sad. I'll be happy all the time. But forcing that emotion out, it doesn't work like that. It's
Mm-hmm.
there. You have to acknowledge it and you have to calm it down.
Yes. Yes. I agree. Like, I can say that for, yeah, I can say that for the rest of my life. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you, I would say to myself, you are allowed to feel these feelings for a day, like full on, but then you have to learn to accept it and find a solution to improve it, or like find a way to become better at
Mm-hmm.
managing those emotions,
Correct,
whatever those
correct.
be. Yeah.
For me, I feel like I would have appreciated my own efforts at times as well.
Mm,
Because usually I'm like so hard on myself, thinking that you're not good enough, you're not extroverted enough, you're not outspoken enough. But there are other strengths as well. So I wish that my old self had acknowledged it better. Because for me,
mm,
there were a lot of gaps when it comes to social support when I was
mm,
younger. So I think if I had maybe perhaps acknowledged that gap and put an extra effort in myself as well, or be more kinder to have been more kinder to myself, then I think I would have felt more confident in a way.
mm,
And yeah, so and also um, I would have appreciated the beauty of the spectrum of
mm,
extrovertedness and introvertedness, because we are in a different stage. Like this could be in a different stage of introvertedness, and I could be in a different stage of introvertedness, and it could be changing every day.
oh yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah. So just thinking that okay, I'm an introvert, I'm not gonna talk with people, I can't talk with people, and being stubborn about it. I hope I I wish that I wouldn't have done it.
Mm,
Yeah, I wish I was more open and was enjoyed the spectrum and just like to be a human.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think like I agree with that too. Like I feel when we are young, we're finding ourselves, we tend to try to grasp whatever that you we think we identify as, and we don't
Mm-hmm.
learn to let go,
Yeah, correct.
you know. And we keep ourselves in this little box, and we're trying to fit into a square box where we're actually a round ball or
Mm-hmm.
something, you know. So I think now, at our point, we're in our early 20s, we still have a long way of exploring ourselves, but I
Mm-hmm.
think we have done quite a good job in just trying to get out of the box that we have created in ourselves, you know.
Soft pat, soft pat.
At the back, yes, good job. You made it this far.
You are still sane.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
And whoever outside of this, if you're still struggling with finding a way to fit yourself in society, don't how about ask yourself, do I want to be fitted in society? Honestly, it's
No,
exhausting.
no, no.
Yeah, it's exhausting. And just live your life as you are. Yeah, live your live your life as a ball, don't be a square. Even though everyone else is square. And
Okay. Mhm.
yeah, and like the spectrum thing is so true. Like, yeah. Like literally one day I could have so much energy, I could be so talkative and super extrovert.
Mhm.
The next day I'll be like, "Ugh, I want to be on my own, don't talk to me." Yes. So yeah, that's true. Like, don't keep yourself in the box, 'cause we're people, we change every single day. Like my mind changes every single day as well. So
Even our food changes every single day. Come on.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So personality, I don't think I'm the same person as I am like a year ago.
Right, right.
Yeah, I'm definitely different for sure.
So, as we come to the end of the segment here, so I have this one simple question for you. Do you have any tips on staying sane when faking as an extrovert? Or just growing to accept yourself as an introvert?
Tips. Well, I would say if you have a lot of anxiety in just being in social interactions, I would say, is this the right advice? I don't know. But I'm just gonna say it. Um, Fake it until you believe it.
Mm.
Uh, so it's like I said before, it's like exposure therapy. So the more you put yourself in those situations, you will learn how to manage it better.
Mhm.
And you'll find that it won't be as daunting as well. And for staying sane, um, I guess like vent out and rent out to your friends if you have one.
Oh, oh my God. Oh my God. I think your habit of like, if you're listening, if you have one, okay, girl, we gotta work on it.
I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Um, yeah, I mean, just rent out, like get out your feelings in healthy manners.
Mhm.
Um, Write a journal. It's a
Mhm.
good one.
Mhm.
Talk to trusted friend,
Mhm.
and therapy is one of it as well,
Mhm.
so, which I highly recommend. And in the age of social media and the internet, you can go to websites that you can just interact with random people. and
Oh
test
yeah.
out your social skills
Oh
as well.
yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. And I mean, just be safe if you're gonna do it on the internet. Just, don't tell people where you live and be catfished, Just, try out, speak to people, and it won't be as scary. Be observant
Mhm.
is one of the skills you can utilize the most, I feel like, as an introvert. Be observant in how those very socially active people interact. You see those interactions and you learn from them. It's one of the things. Uh, yeah, just a few tips. What about you? Do you have any tips?
I only have very few tips. I think one of it is if you're tired, throw everything away. Go and get a good rest. Don't
Oh
ever,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
don't ever overexert yourself. I know that there is a certain point that you feel like, oh, okay, but I have to learn, I have to keep on improving myself. And what if I let this opportunity go away? But no, girl, the other opportunity will come again. You get a good rest first. Because
Mm-hmm.
there are so many instances where my extrovert friends will be like, come on, it's Friday night, let's go out. I'm like, no, 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 I'm in my bed and I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep. Don't tell me. So, um, I understand that the whole process can be very tiring, improving yourself and everything. But you also need
Mm-hmm.
to acknowledge that you need rest, and the amount of rest different people needs can be different. So
Mm-hmm.
acknowledge how much rest do you need, and don't create being tired as an excuse uh, to not grow yourself, but
Mm-hmm.
acknowledge that you need it and get rest that you deserve for all the hard work and all the energy that you have lost throughout the week. Yeah,
Yes. Yes, I agree.
just sleep, girl, and boys. Just
Everyone.
just put the blanket on top of you and just like, yes, that's it. That's it. This is life. This is what I worked hard for.
Yes,
Right?
yes, I agree.
Mm.
Get the rest that you need. Don't beat yourself up if you accidentally burn that bridge to be friends with someone. It's fine. There's a lot more people that you can be friends with. And, you can always find a way to get into becoming friends with them. I don't know. You find a way. Like, life works in mysterious ways and in sometimes very comical and exhausting ways. but but don't be discouraged. You are doing great, okay? You have survived the pandemic. You can survive anything, all
Mhm.
right?
With that, we have come to the end of the session, and I hope that this was very entertaining for you, because it was a lot entertaining for
Yes.
us, talking about our uni life and thinking about all those embarrassing things we did and how far we have come as a person is in general as well. And I understand that the whole growing process can be very challenging, hurtful, and embarrassing at times, but that's what makes it spicy. And that's what makes a good story later on in your life. So, with that, we'd like to end the program and this session here for today. If it's something that you could relate to, and if you feel like you have more to it, you can always reach out to us through any of our social media channels. And yes, we will be eagerly waiting to hear from you. It could be a different opinion, but hey, we said we're introverts, we're open to ideas. Yeah. So with that, thank you for listening. Sayonara. Tuck in on your blankets and good night. Have an amazing sleep. Bye bye.